Hello, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 2 between Mouz and EHUG. This is the TI5 North American qualifiers, and Mouz Sports just beat the living crap out of EHUG in game number 1. So we're going to be heading into game number 2, of course. Mouz Sports still favored to win this one, regardless of their pickups. I'm not super fond about it. This does not look like a typical Mouz lineup, except for the clockwork and the lion. But regardless, we're gonna have to work with it. As way too sexy, picking up a Crystal Maiden here, black, sitting on a Bristleback, which is not one of his signature heroes. On the side of EHUG, it's much more of a of just a snowball-centered lineup. You got a Razor, who's probably gonna be going on the mid lane, or it could be on the off lane. You got Justin as well as Shadow Fiend. Support, maybe not even actually. Yeah, support Lena with a Rupik and an Earthshaker. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna lane it. It looks like it will be an offlane Shaker, as MJW, who played the Nyx Assassin last game, will be sitting on the Shaker. So the Salt Shaker. They might actually try lane that bottom lane instead. Maybe have the. Nah, they won't. They got a Shadow Fiend. He's very, very vulnerable. So. But they're going to be moving down towards that bottom lane. Still not sure how their lanes are going to go, but they're going to maybe try to actually go for first blood here. They're going to be sticking to the tree land. Pilot Eye, very, very exposed currently. They already got a point into the telekinesis, as well as the Light Strike Array. A lot of early kill potential coming out there, as Razor's only waiting to skill the Plasma Field. But it looks like they will be scot-free Mouz Sports currently, as the wards will not be scanning them out. Maybe time for Black to retreat, but EHUG does get an objective out of it, and that's securing the bottom rune. And it is going to be Koifa taking the top one, of course, as he will be going on that mid-Wind Ranger. Shadow Fiend, aka Justin, will be picking out that bottom rune. So this will be a mid-Shadow Fiend, probably off-lane. Actually, safe lane Razor with an off-lane Earthshaker. I mean, Bloody Nine and Lion, they have one hell of a job to do by keeping these two heroes safe here. Black is already going to be commencing the blockade. So this lane is going to push very, very far. Maybe actually even looking to get the first wave underneath. Nah, won't go underneath the tower. Very, very efficient block. And looks like they will be backing up the Earthshaker here. It's Bloody Nine and Lion. They are smoked up. Maybe going for an early first blood here on Black, as Pilot Eye is all the way back. This is actually not a way too sexy Lion, which I was expecting. But regardless, as soon as this gank attempt has been commenced, and maybe over, I will be running through the lanes here. But I want to see how this works out. As Lion and Bloody Nine, they're going to be rotating in through the secret shop, being very, very careful not to be scouted out. Black is already rotated back towards the tower. There are two supports missing, so for all he knows, they could be right on top of him. And the smoke is now off, so yeah, they're being pinged out currently, as they now know. They should know, at least. Lion, maybe actually not. He's going to be almost moving through their Black. He's already dropping fairly low. They got 2 stuns, or at least a lift into a Fissure block. That would be devastating to Black currently, as he does not have any points in the Bristleback. And already down 400 HP, but looks like they will be retreating back out. Wasted a lot of precious time here at EHUG, trying to set up that early first blood, as might actually go the way Koifa, just taking a bit of a harass here. These lanes are tense, but regardless, it's going to be Pilot Eye on the Lion, Black on the Bristleback, going to be taking up the bottom lane. Rupik is going to be picked up by Ya, I think it is. Ya and EHUG and MJW on your Shaker, as Bloody Nine is going to be helping out Justin here, harassing out Koifa here in the mid lane, as he's been taking a fair amount of the farm here. As Justin, he's only got like 8 souls so far, but he will accelerate as soon as he gets those souls in. Up on the, we're rotating through, is going to be Bloody Nine and a double damage Lena here. Looks like he might either want to go for Courier Snipe or just Koifa. Sees the Courier, it is going to be taken down. Nice snipe there out from Bloody Nine. And that's going to be a Wind Ranger without a bottle for about 1.5 minutes, a bit less than that. But that might actually set up some ganks here. As Koifa, he's not going to be able to stay healthy in that lane. There's a lot of kill potential on a Shadow Fiend, of course, especially when you combo it up with something like a, yeah, basically an AoE stun. Bulba up in the top lane. It's going to be going up against the Infinity here. As it should be a fairly even lane. I don't think Racer really has the potential to take out the Clockwork currently. Could if he gets stuck and then he pops the Plasma Field, but Bulba is a rather solid off laner when he feels comfortable, and I think he's feeling somewhat good up against the Racer here. As it's not a dual or tri lane like he had last time, so gonna be having a lot of a more joyful time sitting on 11 last. It's more than the off lane shaker here. Rubik is gonna be picking up his stick here. Is gonna be taking advantage of that quill spray out from Black. And you definitely need to do that when you're facing up against the Bristle. Pilot Eye, they're gonna be clashing here. Maybe letting out the stun. They gotta rotate the other way around, but Black, I don't know where he's going and what he's looking for, but he's got to get back to farm. And as expected, oh, hold on, the lift on a Pilot Eye. The Fisher block is there. Pilot Eye, he's trapped on the wrong side. It's going to be letting go of the spikes. Maybe rotating into the woods. They could potentially get away. Lion, aka the Rubik, will be brought down, and First Blood will go the way of the Rubik though. But now Black, he's not really in the chase. Doesn't have the mana for the Quills. Middle lane, Justin is in trouble. Way too sexy, rotating down, and they will not be taking him out just yet. He's healing through with the bottle. Well played there from Justin on the Shadow Fiend. Is Courier back up yet? Nope. 22 seconds until Koifa gets his bottle in. Shadow Fiend finds the Lucky Rune, the regen rune, and this is going to be problematic for Koifa. Has been able to keep up somewhat well with the lane, but has sacrificed a lot of HP to do it. Courier will be up in about 6 seconds though. Bloody 9 rotating up towards the top lane. Gonna be helping out Infinity, so Bulba now faces a dual lane. Stun is actually coming out. Bulba, he's in trouble. No cogs to be had. There they are, but the Racer will be finding that kill, and Bulba picking up his own bottle off the back of that, but nice play out there from Infinity. Clinching currently an early lead with the Shadow Fiend farming nicely on mid. Hasn't been ganked all too much, and that one gank that almost pulled through was not fully commenced. It didn't really have the impact they hoped for, and especially with that rune, with that regeneration rune down on bottom. Lion trying to keep the harass up down here. It's very, very weird. Like, yeah, the Rubik. I'm just gonna call him the Rubik. The Rubik getting the harass done down there, and my microphone is maxing like crazy currently. This is not exactly how I was expecting it. I might just go ahead and adjust that, so careful. Watch your ears, kids, here for a second, as I'm going to be adjusting my microphone. At least how loud it is, because it's currently rather loud. Hold on. Could do something here, so we don't lose out too much on the game. Just going to be putting it a bit further away. Koifa is chasing down Justin. They do get the Frostbite, but the Shaker, though, does get the Fisher, but I don't think it's going to be saving him. Justin, he's bottling like a maniac, but does not get to survive it. An MJW. Bit of a, not really the, I think the Fisher that he was hoping for. I mean, it did catch on to 2, but you really want the Crystal Maiden as well in order to save your Shadow Fiend, but there was no way. I mean, it was 3 versus 1 initially, and Justin just lost too much health. He's back on mid, though. This is the first time he's gone down, and Racer, though, taking up the farm. But currently, it's very, very even in terms of the farm. If we just look at this for a second, 500. Super close. And EHUG still clinching on to a bit of a lead here. About 500 gold across all heroes, and that's not really a whole lot. They do have stacks up, I think, for Justin. Yeah, they got one sitting there with Centaurs and Mud Golems. That's actually not bad for a Shadow Fiend. With the Mud Golem upgrade, it's actually something that you really, really want. Especially, let's just say you're playing something like an Alchemist. Like, Mud Golems can be crucial to your farm if you're playing an Alch, because you're gaining 36 base gold off if you've charged it up before you take them on. Black, bottom lane, has well been getting a good amount of farm. Is out farming the last, or the Shadow Fiend currently. Sitting on about 1100 gold. Probably going for the early Vanguard here. So they might actually rotate out to Justin. They got way too sexy and Pilot Eye currently stacked up. Qualifiers moving in towards the mid lane. But they might have actually scouted them out with the ward here. So they're rotating down towards the bottom. There's a rune, and that's a regen rune coming up. Shadow Fiend. What item is he getting now? It should be up with the Gloves of Haste here to finish off his treads. His bottom lane. Black, he could be in trouble now. But likewise with the Razor, he's already rotated in towards the lane there. Yeah, Black, he's so dead if he gets caught now. Bloody Nine initiating a bit early. There goes the Fisher. Light Dragon Ray will be catching him out, and that's one dead Bristle. But the Magic Stick keeping him alive, and now the TPs are coming out. They can't actually finish him off. Koifa is going to be repelling them off, and only one TP coming through. I think they could have actually fought him. Black just TPing back home. Wow. What a rotation out by Mouse Sports. Well played. Like, not abandoning Black, always keeping their cool and just rotating Koifa down. I mean, they're so scared of this Wind Ranger at this point. I mean, the power shot is going to be able to basically pull half the HP off of any hero currently on EHUG except for the Razor. And the Shadow Fiend, who now has the strength treads. But yeah, basically anybody but that, and the Earthshaker maybe, but regardless, half health off the supports, and that's basically what you don't want to happen. You don't want your supports to all of a sudden being half HP and then find that you have a line or a clockwork on top of you. That's not an ideal scenario. Bulba going to be scouting out the smoke here. Way too sexy. Got the triangles going for her.
Boom, there it goes.
Slash him. It is the Crystal Main who's got the triangles. With the triangles. Black. Basically sitting on top of this lane currently. He's been playing it so well. Only has about 50 last hits. But in 10 minutes for a rather rough lane, that's actually pretty damn good. Shadow Fiend though sitting on almost 70. With the first 10 minutes. Has had to resort to the jungle. Now the rotation's down on bottom lane. Looks like they want to pressure this tier 1 tower. Forcing out a Fisher here from the Earthshaker as the tower might fall. Mr. Quorfa gets the focus fire in order, and this is going to be one dead tower right here. Black tanking it up for now. Fortification is going to be coming through a bit early. But they do want to keep this tower alive, EHUG. If Mouse Sports does get to push, I mean, they're going to be losing so much ground, and they need vision to fight. Like, because basically the Earthshaker needs to know what he's blinking into. Oh, nice shackle onto the Lina. It's going to be dropping her half of her HP. The tower is on the verge of falling. Lina, they're trying to keep it alive currently. Is it going to get the deny? And they will. Shaker getting the deny, but Mouse, they do take that bottom tower, and that's going to be creating space for Black here. Looks like he might actually rotate into the jungle. Of course, he has no failsafe anymore, in case the lane decides to push, but I don't think it's going to be all that much of a problem. Black. So he got 85 last. That's actually rather impressive. Outfarming a Razor here. We do have the Shadow Fiend walking towards that mech, so he's going to be the mech carrier of this team, so he's going to be taking some of the pressure off the Razor so he can start building something else. Maybe just go straight for the S&Y, get that mobility and get that maim so he can stay static linked for longer and just suck damage out of this Bristleback. Or Wind Ranger. Probably best, it's probably better that it's the Wind Ranger. Nice shackle is going to be shackling up Infinity here. And they do get the hook shot in from Bulba as well. Rotations are coming through. But that's not anything they want to get their hands on. His bottom lane, Black, in trouble. Is going to try to TP out here. Justin is finding the last hit plus the Fisher. So do get the counter kill. But it is going to be in trade of a top lane tower. Top tier 1 tower. And I think Miles Sports are more than satisfied with that trade. Even though it could have been avoided. And EHUG wanting to pressure that bottom tower. Wants to try to bring it down. Highlight Eye though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is going to be sitting off to the side here. Do they have
Radiant structures
TPs to
are
get down there? They
fortified.
have a couple, so they could TP down there. The Wind Ranger doesn't have one, which is the crucial thing. She doesn't have a TP scroll, but everybody else does, except for Black, as that's on cooldown. He did try to TP out
It's off.
right in front of the SF. Bottom tower will be falling, and
Radiant's bottom
we'll be
tower
making the
has
trade
fallen.
even as 3-4 currently. Should be in slight favor of EHUG. Actually, still mouse boards. Sitting on top of it, Bloody 9.
Our structures are fortified.
Gonna be trying to deal with Koifa, but the hook shot in from Bulba will be finishing her off.
Middle tower is under attack.
Rotation coming through, Lion, aka the Rubik. Looking for a lift, but it's not gonna be fighting it. The lift range is not that long. So wasn't able to actually get his hands on anybody. But yeah, Justin, he's got the mech completed. The GPM currently is sitting where the Shadow Fiend, they have been able to get him to snowball somewhat efficiently. And Shadow Fiend, I do feel they do need to try basically mouse boards to shut down the Shadow Fiend. Because if he gets too much farm, I mean, he's going to be just tearing through a Bristleback once he gets the, perhaps a Desolator or something like that. Oh, Shaker.
Incoming.
It's in a bit of a mesh here. We're going to be walking out of it. Bulba, he's got a hook shot on off cooldown in about 12 seconds, so it's able to initiate relatively soon onto somebody. They're actually looking up in the jungle for anybody. Bloody 9 will be scouted out here as the stun will come out. Bulba, he's trapped. Doesn't have the hook shot available, but might not be, yeah, the best option to just wander out of there. Bulba could be popping the cocks down for just trying to get out, but Infinity realizing that he can't take the kill. As that will create space for Koifa here to take down this mid lane tower. Does get trapped on the wrong side of the fissure, but doesn't really seem to care. The Aghanim Scepter will be picked up soon on him. It's about 2,400 gold. Only needs about 500 more until he has to finish the Aghanim Scepter. So it's gonna be one hard hit in Koifa.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Rubik stealing Rocket Flare, not really the pickup of the century. It's good for scouting, but nothing more than that. I mean, it doesn't really do any real damage.
Tower is under attack.
And unlike last game, I actually do feel that mouse boards, they have a Roche lineup. They just need to break off the Lincoln Sphere, and they just have the Wind Ranger focus fire the Roshan down.
Is under attack.
And Black can be there to tank it up. I actually think that could work relatively well for mouse. EHUG, they do have a pretty good Roche team as well. They got stuns. They got a Fissure to fight inside the Roche pit. They got the pure damage to the Shadow Fiend. They got lockdown with the Lena because the Light Strike Array doesn't trigger the Lincolns. So they should be somewhat good, and the Racer to tank as well. And Black doesn't have the Armadillo, does he? If he doesn't, that disappoints me a little bit. Don't actually remember if it's on Bristle or not.
Radiant's middle tower
But
is
regardless,
under attack.
Bulba. 63 last hit Bulba currently. Sticking up in the top lane, has been out farming MJW, and even actually way too sexy. Has been able to find some nice farm. He's sitting on 2 kills so far. Actually, a relatively decent net worth, considering the fact that he is a support. So they will be taking this tier 1 mid here, and looks like
Radiant structures are
mouse sports
fortified.
currently aren't really able to
Dire's top tower.
fend off that mid lane.
Tower has fallen.
It's Black and Pilot Eye. Looks like they want to put some pressure on that bottom tier too. TP's coming in, Bloody 9. Not really able to do that much. Game is kind of slow currently. I mean, it's only about 8 kills so far. Like, last game, basically, Mousesports was sitting on top of them. But EHUG, they're fighting back this time. They know that they got the better team fight. Once again, with the Echo Slam. Or not really once again. They have the Echo Slam. They have the Lena with the Laguna Blade to force down somebody. Maybe take out the Lion before he gets off the finger. Try to act as a counter to him. You got the Rubik with the Spell Steal. They got Shadow Fiend with a massive Requiem, which he's looking to utilize rather well, seeing the fact that he's going to mech Shadow Fiend. And not just amplifying his current damage. You got the Razor as well with the massive team fight potential and push potential when he gets the the Eye of the Storm with the Aghanim Scepter, etc., etc. And Mousesports currently, they do have good initiation, better initiation than EHUG, I think. I mean, Earthshaker's nice just for getting in and stunning everybody, but a Clockwork is just so unexpected. Like, he just drops in when you're not ready because of the range on that hook shot. Like, once he gets to 3,000 range, I mean, he's outranging a Blink Dagger by quite a fair margin. And you got the follow-up with the Wind Ranger. If you can lock down somebody like the Shadow Fiend inside the Cox and render him useless, you can just have somebody like a Crystal Maiden drop in and pop a BKB and a Freezing Field, and you got the win for the team fight. Black just farming up Ancients with the Cruel Spray here. That's actually a pretty damn neat tactic. Just decide not to care about damage. Just turn your back on them. But yeah, basically you got the Queen of Pain dropping in with the Freezing Field. You got the Shackle Shots follow up by Qualifier, plus the Focus Fire maybe onto somebody like the Lina with the Rubik to make sure that they don't get spells off. Lion can lock down Earthshaker relatively well. Just pop the Hex as soon as he drops in to make sure that he doesn't get off the Fissure. You got a lot of options with both lineups currently in terms of fight, but in terms of push, currently Mousesports. Oh, hold on. Lina and Lion taking each other out there. Fingal was committed. No Laguna Blade though. We have not seen that yet, as far as I know. It is very, very mana costly, but 450, it's pretty damn good. Justin in trouble. They managed to lock down the Shadow Fiend, but will they be able to finish off the kill? Infinity coming in. There goes the stun. BKB's pop. Justin, he's trying to bring down Black actually, but Black is just going to be walking out for now. They do not have the Lion. They do need the Lion to try to take down the Shadow Fiend. I mean, Lion is amazing for taking down the Shadow Fiend. You pop a finger, and that's going to be like half his HP gone. Like almost at any level. Shadow Fiend's very, very vulnerable to burst. That's like common knowledge. That's why he fares so poorly up against Quap. I mean, I know Lion Finger doesn't go through BKB, but if he can get it off before or after, I mean, he's already burned. Yeah, that's the first charge, but he's got like a 20-minute BKB. At minute 30, that's almost going to be drained. Like a minute 30, 40, he's going to be having a 5-second BKB. They just need to stall him for those 5 seconds and then have Lion just drop a massive ulti on top of him. Oh, there you go. Black will be feeling the wrath of the Echo Slam, and he's just getting stunned up left, right, and center. So much burst coming out, but Bulba is just dropping in. He doesn't care. Infinity in so much trouble, has way too much damage stolen. But they will be able to rescue Black, and all the burst damage in the world just wasn't enough. Got the Laguna Blade, the Light Strike Array, they got the Echo, the Fissure, the Enchant Totem, but they just weren't able to bring down Black with a simple Crimson Guard. So much HP. And they might even bring down Infinity. They got the stun, they got the Frog, they got the Cox, and he will be toast. Oh, the ultimate, the Freezing Field stolen. Not the best ulti to steal on Lion or on Rubik, but we'll at least get the counter kill on the Clockwork here. But yeah, this is not the best spell to steal on Rubik because he's generally not a BKB carrier. Please no aggro tri-lanes, says Justin with the Spectre. I like my aggro tries. Only if you can pull it off though. Oh, no, MJW. This is the time, you know, when I start to get a little bit bored. Not of the game in general, but like when I run out of stuff to say. Basically, we got Black with the main, but these effigies are pretty damn awesome. Take a look at this. I will show you my Hand of God. If you get the reference, you'll know why I'm giggling at it. Or there's no real reference. It's just all it takes is a dirty mind. Never give up, never surrender. That's like super motivational. Rocket Flare. Just gonna be scouting out here as way too sexy and Pilot Eye. They're way in deep with Porfa here. Bloody Nine, Justin, MJW are looking to rotate in. But Porfa and the rest of the gangbang squad are out of there. And the Chrysalis has already been picked up on the Wind Ranger, so she's currently doing fairly well in terms of trying to take down heroes and generally just be a pain in the ass to deal with. So we might take a look at some of the effigies here. I haven't actually seen him. Yep, that's definitely Bulba. TK God. Not really the most creative. MSG no scope. That's pretty damn cool, Pilot Eye. And rotations coming towards top. We will be taking care of those. Don't worry. Don't worry, spectators. I'm watching the minimap. I am watching the minimap. I don't think there's a whole lot of more effigies. There's some years of pain. Oh, hold on. Way too sexy. This could be problematic. Poifa gets stunned out. I don't know why I said way too sexy. Pilot Eye rotating in, but it will be able to bring down the Wind Ranger. Pilot Eye blinking very, very aggressively forward. He does have a finger. Stunned in about a second, but it looks like they want to chase through. The TP will not be coming through from Bulba. A bit too much for him. So a double kill here from EHUG, and they might actually be taking the lead. No, Mousesports just on sheer towers have the lead currently. Middle lane rotation should be forcing Black back. Nope, doesn't even care. Justin though walking down line. Black doesn't care. He knows he has to way too much HP for them to deal with. Effigies for eternal love.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Black.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Damn, dude. Love the fact that he has the most combinations for his Infinity.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Taking down the tower as MJW. I was actually at the Blink Dagger for a little while. He's currently doing rather well compared to last game. And EHUG currently, they're challenging Mousesports. I mean, this is not a walkover for him. Bristleback. Now as the Sanch and Yasha, I do believe they do have the better late game Mouses. Shadow Fiends do tend to fall off a bit. But Black is going to be staying somewhat present. It's not amazing, but I mean, once the Aghanim Scepter starts coming out, it's going to be, I feel, too much for EHUG. Possibly. It all depends on how this Razor transitions. He's got a BKB. That's about it. About the only item he's got. He really needs the Axe Refresher to really be able to pull down some damage on those towers. 25 minutes. This game is already longer than the last one. And Black, I think he's looking for pickoffs here. He's not been farming as much as last game. But then again, Bristle doesn't need the amount of farm that Lancer does. As 6 to 8, both teams. I mean, both teams are playing passively. Mousesports, they're currently just playing not to drop a game, and EHUG, they know that their best shot is not to get slaughtered in the early game, and they've been able to do that fairly well. Like, I think that's their mindset right now. Just not get slaughtered in the early game, play a bit more patiently, and try to find those crucial pickoffs that they're going for. Not really as of right now. They're going to be trying the Roshan. They are waiting to initiate. Now it comes. Bulba is going to be sending up a rocket flare right into the Roche pit. They were probably waiting for that one, but didn't come. And now they know. Now Mousesports know, but I don't think, yeah, they can't contest it. They're just deciding not to give a damn about it. They do have Highlight Eye sitting off to the side, maybe going for a Roche Snatch there. It's going to be dropping a bit of a minor annoyance into the Roche pit, but there it goes. But the top tower will be falling in return, I think. Mousesports, they're actually rather satisfied with that. No problem for them. And taking the top tower in return, currently playing very, very objective-based gaming. Just try to take towers, try to starve EHUG a farm. If you can starve the Shadow Fiend, he's going to be dropping off pretty damn fast. Especially when he starts dying. Razor. He's got the pair of drums currently, so even more movement speed. He's sitting at about, yeah, almost terminal velocity, if you can call it that. 55, excuse me. So he's basically like a miniature race car, or electrical race car. He's a Tesla basically. She do have Mr. Earthshaker now with the Force Staff as well, so able to just blink in and Force Staff himself out. It's pretty damn good. Very, very common Earthshaker strat. Top lane will be dealt with a little bit by Bulba here. Basically maxing the rocket flares. I'm kind of liking that. Cog duration. Cogs don't really scale that well.
Do it with flair.
Not when you're trying to basically. You only really need to use it in the laning stage, and it's a lot to throw down an entire skill point for 40 damage and one more second in duration in terms of or in trade for about 10 mana as well, and a skill point. Boba haven't really been having a whole lot of success. I mean, he's had a fair amount this game, but he's not been able to find the crucial hook shots that he had last game. Like the hook shot, for instance, onto the enemy on the cliff, that was amazing. But the impact he's had this game has not been as significant as he had last game. And Mouse Sports, they're not unbeatable. They're actually looking a little bit vulnerable once you start taking their, not really their usual picks, but trying to basically counter their regular lineup, because they like farming heroes. They like farming heroes and initiation heroes like the Clockwork, or let's just say the Nyx Assassin that they've been running, which was what EHUG tried last time to take away from them. Didn't really work, but they just drafted a lineup around which tried to make the Nyx seem like a bad pickup, which they have been fairly successful at. Scotty, now down on the Shadow Fiend, he's got a ton more HP. Looks like currently Mouseports, they're just trying to stall out this Aegis, and EHUG, they're not actively looking for fights. They know they gotta farm. It's basically just a bit of security. Aegis will expire in about 2 minutes. Koifa does need to find more farm as well. He's sitting on 213. Lion getting some smoke, so they might want to try something soon. Or it's basically just a bit of a comfortable to have smoke. Rubik got no spells stolen. Raids was sexy. Got an urn, got a bit of a force staff. Working for him, might want to be working into the BKB next, just to make sure that he gets the entire duration of the freezing field off. They have no way of working through, except for the Lina Axe ult, which is not online just yet, so both teams not really looking to fight. It's been 30 minutes so far, and we've only had about 14 kills, so half a kill a minute, and a lot of farming. But it will eventually come, as the mid lane will be contested by EHUG. They know they don't have long in the Aegis, so they have to expend now. It could be a bit of a risky strat. MJW catching out Koifa, but looks like they don't want to initiate just yet. Justin in a bit of trouble here. Hookshot on the Bloody Nine off to the side there. Bulba gets tossed out of his own cogs, but he doesn't really mind. Lina gets bursted down. Black is going to be taking on Justin here, trying to suck up some of the damage. Justin, he's just getting stalled and slowed so bad currently. The mech will purge it, as Koifa is going to be popping the BKB, trying to retreat out. There is a bit of lag here, as the stun once again will go up. Black just trying to work through Justin. Slowly they're taking him down. The Rubik will be dropping. Infinity is going to be drained out by the Lion, but he doesn't really care. He's basically made himself useful in the fight, and Infinity will be forced out. MJW in trouble as well. Justin does manage to, I think, stick charge through it or just bottle up. And Mouse Sports, they're tying it up currently. They're trying to look for Justin. They don't have another hook shot though. But Justin popping BKB, going ham in man mode as he will be taking down the Bulba. Way too sexy though, getting the kill on the Razor, though that's a worthy trade for him. Justin and Black trading blows. Koifa with a nice shackle shot, and they might be taking him down. Koifa will pay with his life, but it is going to be in return for the Shadow Fiend. And basically a team wipe out from Mouse Boys, barely surviving it themselves though, as Bloody Nine is back in. They gotta be careful. Very, very well played out by Black, just sucking up so much damage for his team, and I really wanted to see that graph, but regardless, Mouse Boys, they're pulling even further ahead. And just tying up the score a bit more. At least up on the scoreboard. the BKB's helmet. Didn't he actually pop 2 BKBs in that fight? Yeah, he's only got about 8 seconds left.
Ready to burn.
Nah, it was only 1. Popping a bit late though. Would be a bit much with 2 BKBs, but that fight took a long time. Yeah, not 70 seconds. It did take a long time though. Shaker. The Salt Shaker. Didn't have as much of an impact as they probably hoped he would have in that particular fight, but yeah, he got off the Echo and he got off, I think, 2 Fissures that fight, but not anything to turn it in their favor. Mr. Rubik, he basically got killed off immediately. Likewise with the Lina, they just did not even have an impact in that fight at all. And yeah, I don't even think the Laguna Blade was even managed to get popped there. As Black Pilot Eye and Bulba plus way too sexy. They're smoking up. They're rotating. Maybe could be actually around. Bristle. I don't know what he's really looking for currently. Hey, Cave. Black. Way too sexy. Just gonna be taken down. Little creep camps there. MJW. Gonna be scouting out the Roach Pit. That's a Roshan backup in a good little while here. We'll be having a look at that in about 30 seconds. When the next Roshan will be up. And if it's a short one, it's probably going to be going the way of EHUG. But if it's a long one, it could very much go the way of Mouse Sports. It's all about the timing.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Pilot Eye. Placing a very, very aggressive ward. Wants to know what's happening up on the high ground there. And I would very much like to know that too. As down bottom tower will be taking a bit of a beating here. As they are actually forcing them out up on top. They push in the wave. Glorify Black and Way Too Sexy. They're ready to go. They're ready to make it happen. As Shadowfiend, does he have a TP scroll? Yes, he does. They probably just wanted to force the rotations off the bottom lane. Try to take some pressure off that bottom tower. And they do manage to bring it down, but tier 3s aren't going to be cracked. And a bit of damage done to the top tier 3s. As both teams playing very, very passive. Eventually somebody has to make a move. Like, that team fight was amazing. But both teams very, very evenly matched. I'm liking this game a lot. And I don't think it's like Mouse Sports drafting badly. It's just EHUG actually playing, like, matching their level currently. I do still believe that Mouse Sports, they've got it in the long run. As EHUG will be making more mistakes than they have. But currently, Mouse Sports, they're playing this, or EHUG, they're playing this very, very well. Smoke gank, maybe rotating down towards that bottom lane. Could very much be. It's Infinity. Farming out our middle lane. Roshan is not back up. That was a short Roshan. They could actually go for it themselves. Would be very, very risky, but with EHUG rotating up towards the top lane, they could very much take it themselves. With Black tanking and Koifa doing damage, they could do it. Bracer on the ground, I don't think that's really going to make any difference at all. And neither team currently going for it. I don't think EHUG knows it's back out. They don't have wards down there and they have no way of scanning it out. But I do actually currently expect that Mouse is expecting EHUG to take this like any second. Any second, just rotating down there and taking that Roshan. And still EHUG, I do feel they have the better Rosh team. Like, they have the good AoE, which is basically good for choke point fights. Especially the Echo Slam with a Fissure into a Requiem of Souls. And Lina, you got an AoE stun, the Light Strike Array, plus the Dragon Slave. You got a Racer as well, just targeting everybody with the Eye of the Storm, plus the Plasma Field. And there's just so much. You're able to shut down so many heroes of this Mouse Sports team with that particular lineup. And especially if Rubik steals something like, let's just say, the Crystal Maiden ulti, the Freezing Field, or maybe even just the Lion Stun. Or the Cogs, for that matter. That should be enough. I mean, Clockwork is a very, very good choke point fighter because they can lock down so many heroes with the Cogs. Or just push them out of the way. But EHUG, because Mouse Sports are lacking stuns, they're just able to get so many of their spells off. Currently, Mouse Sports, they have Well, they have mini stuns. They have the battery assault, which is really only good if you have like channel spells, which EHUG are currently not sitting on. They just don't have them, except for the Shadow Fiend ulti. But yeah, regardless, basically they have the hookshot, mini stun, the battery assault, mini stun, and that's mainly for the Requiem. You got Lion, of course, with the Spike and the Hex, Corfa with the Shackle Shot, and of course the Lockdown with the Frostbite. But that's not going to be preventing EHUG, I feel, from just getting off their spells if they get the right terms of initiation. If Earthshaker is able to drop off a Fissure, that's 1.75 seconds where Mouz is going to be unable to do anything at all. And if you follow that up with the Lina stun, that's going to be an additional 2.5 seconds. Which is like ridiculous. Okay, there we go. We got Justin back. He's going to be taking up that Shadow Fiend, of course. He's got the Helmet of the Dominator to help him out with that lifesteal, and it's going to be making for an even faster Roche. So we got Mrs. Crystal Maiden picking up that BKB. Way too sexy, and the rest of the squad, they're smoking down the woods to the Roche Pit. I think EHUG are doing exactly the same at this point. Going down the woods to that Roche Pit, Rocket Flare is going to be scouting them out. Nobody coming through the secret shop, and there should be one fairly fast Roche. Black, of course, with the goo, going to be working with that minus armor. The stun is out, and Corfa is doing one hell of a lot of damage. Pilot Eye, Bulba, and Way Too Sexy going to be sitting off to the side, just waiting for this EHUG team, who are currently now just making their appearance. The Roshan is going to be falling. Looks like Corfa will be the carrier. Justin is going to get shackled up. Is this a fight they want to take? Looks like a Bulba suicide hookshot in. Will be picked off, but disrupting the fight so much that Infinity will be dropping. Pilot Eye just get the stun off on the Shadow Fiend, and they want to chase this. There is the Echo Slam still to come, but just so much damage being pulled off, and BKB pop from Justin as well. Black is just tanking through it all. Quorifa got a double kill so far, and it's only been the 2 supports that has dropped on the side of Mouz. And what did he change? A bit to the favor of the Mouz Sports, but still do feel with the Aegis as well, other than the Wind Ranger and her getting a Daedalus, she's much better suited for the oncoming 5 minutes, which might decide the game. I don't know. Could very much be. They do need to take a bit more of a convincing fight, Mouse Sports, but I mean, that right there was very, very good suicide hookshot in from Clockwork, aka Bulba. He did not expect to survive that. But then again, it doesn't even matter all that much. He locked down the Racer, got the kill on him, and that's a crucial hero to pick off early in a fight. To remove the tank and focus down Justin. Basically, you can talk about tanks. Like, currently Justin, he could act as the tank and the damage dealer, but that's not really how it works. Like, Racer is meant to be in the middle of the fight and suck up a lot of damage. And, you know, with their current amount of armor, well, they both really act as tanks. But Justin, he dropped fairly quickly to about half HP. They do have a lot of armor, the both of them, though. Sucking up a lot of the physical damage that this Bristleback is putting out with the Quill Sprays. Assault Cuirass is almost finished on him. Going to be counting out the other team's Assault Cuirass. Shadow Fiend. Okay, Justin, the Butterfly is complete. So going to be trying to force Black to get an MKB, but I don't think that's a problem for him. He's got the AC done pretty much now, I think. Yep, he's got it done, and it's going to be the next item in MKB. And I don't know, wait a minute. I keep looking, basically in my day, when I first started playing Dota, back in my day, kids, it was Wind Ranger support. There wasn't anything called a Wind Ranger carry, which is why when I keep looking at Wind Ranger, I'm thinking support immediately. Of course Wind Ranger's going to get the damn BKB, or MKB. Of course she's going to get it, and of course she's going to be the counter to the Shadow Fiend Butterfly, which is why it's like a semi-bad pickup, because Wind Ranger with an MKB is such an amazing counter to Shadow Fiend. Like, it is ridiculously good. Because basically, you're not going to be missing a shot, and you're attacking at
Dire's middle tower is under
500 attack speed. Basically, every
Dire's
4 instances of damage every second, and you're dealing
bottom tower is
300 damage with each hit. That's just going straight through with the Daedalus crit every once in a while. You're going to be dropping a Shadow Fiend that's stunned up so damn fast, and with only about a 7-second BKB, which is going to be the 6, and then eventually turn into 5-second BKB, he is not going to be having any countermeasure to that shackle shot into the focus fire. Like, there's no counter to it, and currently the rest of the Mouzepod squad, they're knocking on the tier 3s. Justin, all he can do is push him off, and Koifa, he knows if he makes a mistake, which he usually doesn't do, he hasn't made a whole lot of mistakes this game either, he's gotten Aegis. Like, that's basically it. He's gotten Aegis. And with Bulba now with the finished Aghanim Scepter, he's going to be able to initiate a lot more efficiently. It does only decrease the cooldown, but he's going to be able to initiate with a lot more confidence, knowing that he might actually, if he survives the initial damage, gets 2 hookshots off in one fight, and that is crucial. Being able to lock down 2 heroes in a fight is absolutely incredible. And even if he misses the first hookshot, he's just like, alright, I'm going to be waiting 12 seconds, and then I'm going to be going again, and this time I'm going to get you.
Homing in.
And Mousesport's putting so much pressure on the EHUG. Just with that starving tactic, currently they're not finding many last hits. I mean, the graph is currently going the way of Mousesport's, even though that they haven't really like taken a whole lot in terms of team fights. Aegis is now reclaimed. Roshan will be back up in about 4 minutes, or we will know when he's back up in about 4 minutes here, and it's gonna make Koifa a bit more uncomfortable. But regardless, the MKB is soon to be done. I think they want to pick that up first, and then they want to try for the push, because they aren't too fond about going just yet. But yeah, they want to find the this next big item, the MKB, and maybe get another one onto on Bristle. Maybe build back a pair of travels and then go for it. Oh, there was solo echo time on the Pylite Eye. That mistakes were possibly made. Bulba will get stunned up, but the Rubik though is in trouble. Infinity popping the BKB as MJW trying to help out his little buddy there. They will bring down the line, but at what cost though? The ultimate will be picking off one, almost 2. Way too sexy though. Is trying to make it back out. Not going to be happening. So a 1-for-2 trade here. This top tower is being pressured though. Where is Koifa currently? Sitting back and they'd actually try to TP out. He was just like, nope, not going to be part of this. But yeah, EHUG trading for victory here. Us getting 2 supports for an offlaner, which is not terrible, which is actually pretty good for him. Gemma's True Sight essentially. Oh, damn, they don't know. They do not know. The Gemma's True Sight is still sitting on the ground there. I think that was on the hands of the Crystal Maiden. They do have to pick it up without it looking suspicious. But looks like EHUG, they don't realize that the gem is on the ground. They do have carriers for it, which was the Lina. Koifa. I don't think neither team knows. It's not the it's not Mousesports pinging it out. It's actually the or the casters. I do believe at least. But yeah, it is definitely on the ground. And neither team actually looking to pick up. That's free 800 gold just lying around on the floor currently. Way too sexy. He's gotta know he's dropped it.
Illusion.
Neither team really cares. EHUG. Basically Salt Shaker. Scouting out the Roche Pit. We'll know in a couple of seconds when he's gonna be oh no! Oh no, Rubik, you just did not. Oh no. You purchased a gem and there's one line for free right there. Oh no. That is rather unfortunate. Windranger got the MKB, so now they can start engaging a bit more aggressively, knowing that they can bring down the Shadow Fiend. Which is why, which is basically, yeah, why the butterfly is going to be basically wearing off. As Qualifiers is closing in on being 6 slotted. He basically only needs to trade in the face boots for like a pair of BOTs and work with some other item. Maybe get a, I don't know what you want to get. Maybe a Desolator. Oh, Pilot Eye is in trouble. Boba trying to save his little buddy there, but will get stunned up in the process. Might actually make it back out. Bloody 9 will get caught out and picked up. Boba, though, taking so much damage, is going to drop. So once again, a 2-for-1 trade, but this time it's going to be Boba. It's going to be the victim. And EHUG pulling ahead. Actually, not really pulling ahead, but they're showing a lot of confidence here. Entering the Mouse Sports jungle. They do have wards down now, though, but they're still taking turf. Top lane, Qualifier and Black. Basically, you got, yeah, Black to tanking up and Qualifier to deal the damage. This is risky. I don't really know why you get the hold on. Infinity wants to get his hands on the way too sexy. Won't be able to, though. BKB's popped. His Crystal Maidens will be wearing off in about a second here. Black just trying to make it out. Just jumping his ways away. Way too sexy, knowing that this show is over and just eating the death just to make sure that Black gets out scot-free. And Qualifiers already rotated mid. He's like, oh, forget about it. But yeah, Shadow Fiend, you could get other items than the Monkey King part because, well, you know, it's going to be going through the Wind Ranger win run, but not really going to be working towards, you know, like the BKB. So that's basically what you want to do. You want to try to figure out a way to try to get rid of that BKB. But the MKB, well, it's a logical pickup. But if Justin is stunned half the time, which he will be once that BKB wears off, the MKB is not going to be helping him a whole lot. Razor, he's got the axe as well, just waiting for that refresher. So he's going to be able to push down towers a lot more efficiently. Maybe they're looking to get a bit more aggressive here. At least when trying to take towers after the fights. Roshan is now back up. Both teams know. This could actually be big. This could be really, really big. EHUG, no, they're just going for the jungle. They want to take a fight before taking the Roshan. They know they don't have to be everybody to take down this Rosh. EHUG rotating through the jungle here. Looks like Mousesports, they're looking to regroup. They don't see any EHUG heroes. They're smoking up themselves. This could end horribly. Qualifier, he's out very, very far.
Flares here.
Oh, they see him though. EHUG, they are in quite a bit of trouble. The Queen of Pain, or not the Queen of Pain, Lena is going to be rotating away. Where's the hook shot? That's on to Justin. Will get cocked up, stunned up as well. So much damage out on Justin, and he's just going to be left alone, and they're stuck inside the Cox and the Roche pit. They will maybe be able to bring down the Roche. Is it going to get snatched? Maybe. Yes, no, maybe. No, it will not. As Justin will drop, and Bloody 9 is going to be going down as well. Massive massacre out by Mousesports. What an initiation. And there was absolutely nothing EHUG could do. They just got stomped that fight. Locking down their main source of damage and just Qualifier chewing through him. Buyback from the Lena. Who has buyback currently? Shadow Fiend doesn't. The only one who has is Lena. And she's not going to be making much of a difference. She did get off the Laguna Blade in that fight. But damn, it didn't do much. Way too sexy, salty, as well as Pilot Eye. They just basically initiated on Justin. Boba jumped back out of the Roche pit to initiate onto somebody else. Pilot Eye just a courtesy finger to Justin, and he was down to half HP. And GG out from EHUG. They just don't. They just can't fight it. Hook shot on the Bloody 9, but it's all over. EHUG will be taken care of here in game number 2 in Mousesports. Still very much the favorites for the North American qualifiers, and what a game up by them. Wow. That was some impressive Dota right there. That was some very, very impressive Dota out by Mousesports. They were kind of like a bit sketchy up until the end, but then they just started taking off. Once the Wind Ranger got that MKB, the damage up from Qualifier. Oh my god. But yeah, regardless. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Go check me out on Twitter as well. I'm going to be trying to look to be a lot more active on Twitter. So if you go check me out there, that would be super motivational. And Well, that's about it for me. Hopefully you did enjoy the Mouse Sports versus EHUG American qualifiers. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.